Alright. I am live on X, YouTube, Kick, and Twitch, Facebook, and yeah, I think we're good. Wait, let me see. I think I'm doing a test. Okay, let's go live. How's that? Alright, let's do this. Go live. Yeah. Okay. Title. Yeah, save. Go live. Okay. There we go. And I believe. Wait. And post. Control V. I believe. Okay. Let me turn this down a little bit. Hi. Welcome to the 5th stream of the writing process of me. What is up? Hello, Kick. How y'all doing? Hello, Twitch. How y'all doing? Yep, live. Okay. Hello, YouTubes. How you doing? Facebook. Good to go. Yes. Okay. And I believe X is live as well. Let me see. Yep. Live now. Okay. Cool. Got it going. All right. Hello. Friday. Let's do this. Writing a book in 30 days. All right, let's roll. I sent the wrong book, Mercenary Reincarnated Chef Book 2, to the publisher, and they're like, hey man, is this the same book you sent us last time? I'm like, yes it is. That is my fault. So, yeah man, my bad. So if anybody is watching this and they're new to the stream, my name is Gabriel Rathwig. I am an author. I write science fiction fantasy novels in the genres of LitRPG and progression fiction, progression fantasy, isekai, time travel, alternate history, all sorts of things. So those are what I do. All right, I'm going to get out of... Oh, looks like I'm doing better with drop frame rate, only at 17% so far today. That's good. All right, let me... love my post on X and let me promote it. Oh, I think it costs money. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Deuces. All right, and Facebook's live, so I think, yeah, I'll leave that under the comments, and I think get started. Well, I am early today, so nobody's watching, so. You know, it's cool. What else should I say? The goal is to write a book in 30 days. This is day 5. I'm at 11,164 words. My process is to write a book that is 100,000 words. That's the goal. 100,000 words is 100%. I break it down into 1,000 words is 1%. So I am 100% finished with this book when I hit 100,000 words. It's a way for me to measure my progress. Obviously, sometimes books end up shorter or longer, but you know, that is neither here nor there. It's done in the editing process and then in the rewrites. My personal goals for this stream is, I'm a writer, not a streamer. I'm a writer who is streaming. So this is to hold me accountable to hit my daily word counts. Today's goal is 500 words per half hour, 1,000 words an hour, 3,000 plus words. So 3 hours or less, I should be at 14,164 or more words. So if you look here, my little cursor's spazzing around and highlighted. We're at 11164, and I want to get to 14164 or more. If I can get it done in less than 3 hours, that's gravy. If I could do it in like 2 hours and 15 minutes, that's even better. If anybody is new and they want to watch, if they want a recap of the first 5 books in the series, this is From Chef to Crafter to Conqueror Book 6. The first stream I do a synopsis of all 5 books, or, which is a much better option, you can buy them on Amazon, or if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read them for free on Kindle Unlimited. From Chef to Crafter, Conqueror Books 1 through 5. Or if you want the audio, they're all available on Audible or Amazon on audio. From Chef to Crafter to Conqueror. Book 6 is what we're working on now, and then this will finish the series for a few months before we work from book 7. And yeah, what else? This is my attempt at marketing that's not TikTok or Instagram, just posting reels. Everybody else does that, and this is me showing my writing process, because most people ask me 2 questions. 1, how do you write a book? Or 2, I've written a book, now what? So some version of how do I become a writer, or, you know, whatever. So this is literally the process. I hate literally. People took that word and ruined it. But this is the process of me writing a book from start to finish in 30 days. I started September 1st. It's now September 5th, and I'll be done on September 30th. It's not easy, and by no means is it the way I think you should write a book, you know? But whatever, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, okay. What else? Yeah. Writing tip. I give a writing tip every day. Today's writing tip is... What is a good one? Consistency. Consistency is key. Yeah, I hate that. It's true, though. Exercise, consistency, just consistency every day. Writing every day, every day. A lot of people hit something called writer's block, which I hit too. But it's not really writer's block. It's you can't think about what you're writing at that moment. Like, you can't write what you're writing. So you have to write something else or figure something else out. You just have to write. So consistency every day, even if it's not the same thing. Just fucking get some words out. Pick a number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 500. But do that. All right. I think I said that before, but you know, I'm harping on it. Read books, but don't read to the point where all you read is books and you don't do any work. All right, cool. Chapter 3, all my chapters are usually about 5 to 6 pages. That's about 3,000 words ish. It's about 500 to 600 words per page, depending on if it's dialogue or not, if you use Microsoft Word at 12 point. Yeah. So last time, I guess we'll just get started. I'm earlier than usual, so nobody's watching. And you know what? There's not that many people watching anyway. So really, having at least like one person watching or 2. Oh, hey, yeah, Kick. You guys are always 2 people watching. What's up? It's just a nice accountability, you know, because it's really easy to fuck around and faff off, not faffo, faff off. It's really easy to fuck around and not do anything, you know? Fuck around on the web, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, drop frames, 32%. Oh, well. you know, trying. I think I probably should get a better camera. All right. Well, that's enough talky. I'll get going. If you jump in the chat or join the subscriber or follower or whatever the thing is, I probably won't acknowledge you until like later on. It's hard for me to take breaks in between and right look. My screen is, I have three screens and one's on each side and there's one in the middle, which is the camera. So my writing is the screen on the left, which is here, the word, and then the one on the other side, my right, your left, is where I have my Google Chrome up and, you know, other documents stuff for research and stuff. So I guess I could share those screens at some point, but maybe later. I don't know about yet. All right. As I said before, last time, if you want to get a recap of books 1 through 5, watch stream 1, and yeah, I'll give you an update of what happened so far yesterday. We got chapter 2. They basically big dicked the Kamakura, the Hojo, Lord Hojo, the ruler of Kamakura Shogunate, the rulers of Japan. And then, let me turn this down a bit. And then left Kamakura, had a little bit of a discussion. The little goblin hobbit guy is like, hey, can you come help us in the Philippines? Which is called Rusun is the capital, and the Luzon is that big island. And they have a little bit of tiff. Jiro's kind of anti-hobbit. And then they get back on the ship, and main character Rio goes into the bridge, the radio area, and gets an update on what's going on the other islands from Nezuko, the former ninja, female ninja assassin turned Koga ninja princess that is now working for, now part of Tsushima Island, or the new burgeoning nation of America. Why do I use America? People are like, it's stupid. Why would you use America? Because I'm from fucking America. The same reason that somebody would use Britannia or some dumb fucking name or wherever the hell they're from, you know? Oceania or Asiana. Because you default to what you know, you know? What are you gonna call it? Fucking Camelot? I mean, shit. Okay. So I'll read these few paragraphs and get on with it. So 1-1. Oh, let's do this Grammarly thing. What do we got here? I still hadn't figured out how many things did. Where's this? Oh, okay, that's fine. That's a good. And came. Nah, I don't like that. Nope. Nope. Huh. I'm just looking over these grammar. I don't know if I like them or not. Okay. Okay, all right. Looks good. So 11161, so not bad. So the goal, if I finish this book in a month, is I have to do 3,000 words a day for the first 10 days, and then 3,500 for the last 20. And so right now I am 839 words behind. I have 5 days. I have more than 5 days. I have the whole month to make it up. But if I'm gonna hit my goal, 100K, I need to fucking catch up. So we'll see how it goes. All right. During my private discussions with Alan, okay, wait. Here we go. From Chef to, wait, let me see if anybody is watching and say thank you. Thank you, Kick. As always, y'all are the shiznit. Nobody on El Twitcherino, Negativo. And nobody on YouTube's Negativo. Nada. No sabe nada. Yep. And Fachabuk. Nada. All right. Here we go. During my private discussion... Oh, wait. Here's my wife with some bacon. Hi. Thank you. It's all for me? I got one.
No, 1 egg.
Oh, I'll have 2 eggs.
It's only 1 egg.
Oh, are you having an egg?
Well, I can make you the egg.
No, you have it. Have you having bacon?
I'm gonna have one. No, that's all you.
Okay. Yeah, fine. My wife made breakfast, but we don't have any eggs. So I'm just eating bacon. I love bacon. Every red-blooded American should love bacon. And if you don't, well, something wrong with you. It's kind of yucky listening to me eat, right? Okay. Time to get going. I'm about an hour and a half earlier than I usually am. I'm usually on around like 10 or 11. My goal is to start being on here at like 6:37 and being done with work before 10 o'clock and able to do other things for the rest of the day. Because I'm up at 4 a.m. every day. So I should definitely be done with work by 10. Okay. During my private discussions with Alan, which I then used when planning during our planning session with Lord So and the others of the Command Cadre. Where we decided that it would be the safest. We decided that it would be the safest and most secure option, at least for the first few years or so, to limit the burgeoning country of America to only islands. Specifically, islands that had the resources we needed to run our small but technologically advanced nation, comma, were strategically placed and could be defended with our but resource intensive nation were strategically placed and could be defended with our technologically advanced navy. Of course, we could run up into any city in the world and take over its capital or destroy any fort or castle we ran across. The problem would be holding it. And if we did something like that on the mainland, Asia to be more specific, the number of enemy troops that could be arrayed against us would nullify any of our technical superiority. A famous general once said that superior numbers are a tactic in and of themselves. I agreed with him. one only had so much ammunition after all. If you had 100 rounds and 1,000 screaming Mongol warriors were heading your way, it didn't matter if you killed one with every shot. The remaining 900 would make mincemeat out of you. And whoever was dumb enough to stand by you. This principle worked as you scaled it up even more effectively. That was why we went with our strategy, our current strategy. Both Tsushima Island and Iki Island were now basically impenetrable fortresses. We'd proven it with the 1,000+ Mongol armada we'd entirely destroyed just a few months earlier. Along with, Mikoso kept up her report, the 2 new cargo ships listened intently, comparing what she was telling me with the information that I'd already received from Alan. The 2 new cargo ships also had weapons, but were mainly designed for trade. Okay. Sorry, I'm eating bacon and thinking about this. I'll read it out in a minute, but I'm hungry. You know, between all the platforms, I have like 100 people. It's dumb. All right. I think the goal here is to finish updating what's going on the islands and then have something exciting happen that makes this info dump worthwhile. How about an attack by some pirates who happen to be from the Kingdom of Ryukyu, which is the southern islands, Okinawa and stuff. And so Rio decides, and they decide to make a detour because everything's fine on the islands, and they hear from Yoshi. Okay. Then when I think they just mess them up, take all their money and shit, some nice weapons. Maybe they're like pirate kings. Privateers? No, I have an idea. Pirates are attacking somebody and they save them. Okay. I think that'll work. And we'll have like a little bit of a a pirate detour, and then go from there. Yeah. I think that'll be really good. Okay. I know I shouldn't eat on stream. I'm just hungry. It's not good etiquette. Definitely shouldn't talk with my mouth full. Okay, here we go. Even the children could load and fire a cannon or mortar. The bolt rifles were practically handed to babies in the crib. There was a tradition among the samurai of Japan where they gave small wooden toy swords to their male children from infancy. That tradition was continued, but with wooden toy rifles. I'd wanted to discourage, we'll say discourage, huh? Yeah. I'd wanted to discourage the practice at first, but when the reasoning was explained to me, I'd acquiesced, and not only that, did a 180 and jumped on board. I lived in a dangerous world now, and that world did not care whether you were a baby or an adult when it came to take your last breath. It's not a bad sentence, huh? Okay. I don't know if I'm going to hit my less than 1,000 words or more than 1,000 words per hour goal, but I mean, this bacon's good. 2, yeah, 1. 4 more pages in this one. Oh. Hmm. $800 words to go. At a half hour. All right, last piece of bacon. Alan had concurred and even went on further to explain the positive physiological benefits and connections that were made when a child grew up with a consistent weapon. It was a practice that was popular around the world. The Mongols did it with horses and bows and arrows. The Saracens did it with their scimitars, and the samurai did it with katana. Okay. Okay. Mikoso's report continued on after the completion of the cargo ships to explain that training and outfitting the rest of the populace was proceeding as planned, and should be completed by the end of the year, which was only a few months away. She went on to You out of here? Excuse me, Mona. I gotta kiss my wife goodbye. I'll probably be done. I probably won't be done by then. Okay, here we go. Latest harvest, which had exceeded expectations by over 50%, which meant another surplus of cash crops. Honda Sama, the head of their agriculture and a master master agrarian master savant, had commissioned the building of a dozen more storage silos on both islands. Rio nodded and made sure to give his permission, though he was sure the randy old goat had already started without it. I didn't mind. Rio. It's me. First person. Derp, derp, derp. I didn't mind. I preferred those who asked for forgiveness than those that asked for permission. Was the only way to outperform the competition in any environment, military or civilian. Okay. With those worries put to rest and hearing about the other projects next, the ones that I was truly interested, our new revolvers based on the Colt 45 model, lovingly nicknamed the Peacekeeper, also called the weapon that won the West, were about to go into mass production, and I believed they would make our elite soldiers even more invincible. Or at least able to fire 6 more rounds a minute. That was a wonderful thing in and of itself. Samuel Colt. What did he say about Samuel Colt? Quote. Yeah. God created men equal. Colonel Colt made them equal. I'd always loved that saying. But hadn't realized how much until the radio went silent. Yes, ... I personally heard you mention that a few times. As as I was saying, the manufacturing of the cult pistol is scheduled for tomorrow. And that is everything for Tsushima and Iki Islands. As for Captain Ryoma and Yoshi's mission, the updates are as follows. Here is their report. Her tone. Wait. For some reason, as she read the missives from Ryoma and Yoshi, it was like I could hear them speaking in their voices. Ryoma's first. Ryo-sama. We have arrived in Busan. Port of Busan. And made contact with Jiro-sama's spies. We are currently taking accommodation at the inn, if that is though I hesitate to use that word. Walled and roofed disaster area is more like it, but I digress. My wrist's been bothering me today. Yoshi and the other. Yoshi has his Class S team. Okay. The two shinobi, Wataru and Ichigo, have informed us that Wutan arrived a month earlier with two men that fit the description of Aju and Lord Abaru. They confirmed this with their own eyes during the past month. Most recently, they saw all three of the traders entering the palace that the local Mongol governor is holding court at. No sign of the stolen rifle or ammunition. We await further instructions. Okay. Ooh, oh yeah. That was a good one. Woo. Oh, okay. I tucked away the I grunted at the message, and as I but otherwise said nothing, letting me go. So continue. Conti. With Yoshi's missive. Ryo Sensei. We arrived in Busan with no issues, though we had a small altercation with some giant Wako Oni, but were able to de-escalate the situation and cause no attention to ourselves. My team has unpacked and begun as stowed and no wait and I have already instructed them on our mission parameters. By the time you've received this message, we will already have begun our surveillance of the Mongol governor's palace. I will inform you at the appointed time with updates. As always, your trusted student, Yoshi. I grinned at the end. The practice of using one's last name first had become outdated recently, especially by the younger generations who, to their elders' great annoyance, seem to revel in. That was the thing about youth and age. The young would do the exact opposite of the old, even if it meant no matter what. It was just the way human beings worked. A ruckus that concludes my report. Mikoso out. Thank you very much, Mikoso. I will report to... I will... pass the information along to your brother and the others. Over and out. I said, but the radio clicked on again. I finished preparing to leave the bridge and do as I just said. But the radio clicked again, keeping my attention. Yes, about that. Yes, Ryo-sama, Miko so said, then stopped, letting static crackle for over 10 seconds. Just when I was about to say something, the radio burst back to life. Are you okay? I mean, how are you doing? Hey, what do we do? 1,000 words? What's up? 50 minutes? Less? Oh, I need 100 more to go, actually. Less than 100, but here we go. How was I doing? I had to think about that for a minute. You are doing fine. Your vitals are all nominal, and I sense no signs of mental distress that are out of the ordinary. Alan informed me. Thanks, pal. But I don't need you to tell me that. I can do it myself. I shot back, my mental tone causing the AI uninvited AI guest to give me the mental equivalent of a hands up shrug. Which I ignored and turned back and on the radio ignored, to which I ignored as I responded on the radio. I'm fine. Thank you for asking, Miko. Miko, we are all fine. We are all fine. In fact, we should be back by tomorrow morning. I told her when the bridge hatch way was flung open and one of the sailors yelled frantically inside at me. A commotion breaking out, sounding outside the bridge, causing me to pause and cock my head to listen. Then ships on the horizon. Wacko Oni, the lookout, says. Over a dozen attacking one more ornate vessel. Captain Hiroki says it's a Luzon ship, and Lord Sol told me to tell you to get out there yesterday. right, well, hi, Cat. Well, we broke 1,000 words in an hour, under an hour. It's not bad. And I talked for 10 minutes, so we got another 1,000, 2,000 to go. Ugh. Oh, man, I'm tired. This is a lot of writing, yo. A lot of writing, yo. I'm just seeing the streams are working out. They seem to be fine. Everything's going. Yeah. It's just some drop frame rates. I guess, you know, there's nothing you can really do about that, right? So, yeah. Check how the X is. I think it's cool I got a stream going. All 5. Wait. Yeah. Live. Yeah, okay. What now? What now? Okay. Let's go, I shouted, dropping the hey, what do you want? What do you want? Hi, it's my cat. Hi, Winston. He's 20. Say hi, buddy. Your grandma? Hi, pal. How you doing? Yeah, oh, he's an old boy. I let him sit with me whenever, because, you know, he's 20. So, let me think. I could use this time and not writing to think about what to write. Okay. Okay, I think I got it. Hi. Okay, I'm gonna let you down, bud. I gotta work. Chill out. I gotta work, pal. Okay. Radio receiver and bolting out after the heaving sailor. Hello? Rio? Hello? Mikoso's voice. Sounded out from behind us. Pushed off. I rushed off the bridge and after the sailor, blinking as the bright light of the sun hit me, but only for a moment as I took in the growing situation. The klaxon alarm calling everyone to battle stations was sounding, meshing with the shouts and commands of the bosun and other officers. Other ships. Officers. What looked like chaos at first was nothing of the sort, as the sailors and soldiers moved with precision and a visual and sense of purpose. I nodded to myself once in satisfaction. At the side of training paying off, then spotted Lord So and the others amidships and hurried over to join them. Okay. I want to get to 500. I think I'm going to take a quick hang and get some more coffee. Be right back. But not yet. When I arrived, they were already deep in conversation about what to do, what course they should take. Again, I say, leave those goblin bastards to their fate. Jiro hissed. Jiro roared, his tone exasperated, as if he'd made the same argument and judging by the other's reaction, he had. Okay. Shake the wrists out, folks. You can get these like wrist braces and things that help, but I just hate wearing them. Stretching. Okay. That is not a valid reason to not help another vessel in need. The code of the ocean. Of the sailor. The honor of every sailor aboard this ship is at stake. Captain Hiroki stated in his gruff but calm voice. Jiro, you are a man of honor. You can see this. I understand that you have a personal hatred for the little people. For what they did to your clan. But what they did? Personal hatred? No, Hiroki, you are wrong. I am not ruled by emotion as others are. The goblins not only betrayed our clan, but those of my family and children. Because of their dishonor, I lost my wife, child, and everything else that mattered to me. Despite that, I do not hate the goblin. I am just under no illusions of what they truly are, unlike the rest of you. Jiro said. His voice was calm, but I could sense the barely controlled fury underneath. This was one of the few times, if not the first, that I'd ever seen the ninja master lie or seem so on the verge of losing control? Quickly before I decided to step in quickly before things went south. What's going on? Someone fill me in, please. Lord So? Oh, good. I'll be right back. I need to go stretch and get some coffee. Okay, here we go. Let's go. 13,400 words. Let's go, let's go, let's go. 5 pairs of eyes. One of them from the vertically challenged Gigi stared back at me in varying states of emotional Lord So looked relieved, while the others all looked pissed or worried. More so pissed. Princess Ji looked very irate as she glared up at Jiro. It looked like things hadn't calmed down at all since he last saw them. You are a coward and have no Princess Ji began, but I stepped up and cut her off with a firm frown. There is no cause to impugn anyone's honor here. I know all of you and do not condone that action. Princess, you are about to cross a line that Jiro will have no choice but to answer, and I, for one, do not want to lose any of our people. Because of some... Oh, my cat. I'll be back. What's up? What's up? Come on. Oh, hi. Now I'm shutting the door so the cats can't come back in. Sorry guys, gotta knock this out. Gotta knock this out. Silly disagreement. I explained. Both Jiro and Princess Ji turned their glares on me, but I wasn't fazed and stared just as hard back with zero emotion, showing until they both looked away. Then I nodded. Good. Now, someone tell me what's going on. Impugn? Oh. Yeah. okay. Huh. Well, there you go. I didn't know that that was spelled that way. Huh. There you go. Whatever. Ah, cruising on, cruising on. Hey, Brookie Love. Thanks for following me, XO, on Twitch. Okay, let me think. Okay. For the love of God. Lord So cleared his throat and pointed. There is a pair of vessels that are under attack from a small Wakaoni pirate fleet. The lookout says the vessels are from the island nation of Rusun in the Isle of Luzon. Proper sea trade courtesy is that when another vessel is in need of aid and you can assist, you do. Jiro disagrees due to those in need of assistance being from the Hobbit Kingdom. Now, there you go. You're all brought up to okay. And gave everyone my best. Why are you wasting our time on this? calling out orders. Captain Hiroki, make way to help those ships under attack. Get the soldiers ready and make sure to take a few of those Wacko Oni alive for questioning. Aye, aye, Momotaro. Captain Hiroki replied with an overzealousness that annoyed the hell out of me, but I ignored due to the situation. And if you couldn't take a joke, then that made you a real asshole. Ooh. Would you look at that? We're almost at 13K. Let's go. Oh. Woo! 1,000 words in an hour and a half. That's pretty dope. The grizzled old sailor turned fleet admiral began striding across his deck and shouting orders, to which the sailor and soldiers billeted on the Shiro as Marines hopped to and prepared themselves for battle. They weren't the only ones, as we all had an assigned battle station as well, which I reminded everyone of, and we dispersed. Princess G got in one last snipe at the other. This was going to become a thing. And I needed to nip it in the bud before it started to cause real problems. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more page and we on chapter 4. 5. Alright, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so the next page and then we start a new chapter. Doobie doobie doop doo. Alright. Plebeianization. Thank you for following me. What's up? What's up? Do 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 do. La la la. Da 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 da. Okay. You two. This isn't over, old man. Princess G hissed. Hardly, silly child. Jiro replied with just as much animosity. Animosity. The two stalked away. I do not know it. I find the interplay of generations quite fascinating. Do you not? Alan asked, innocently. Oh, shut up. I replied, not even bothering to answer his question. It took the next 5 minutes to loop the Shiro around to catch the wind with our Bermuda sailing rig. But once we had the wind behind us, things happened fast. We closed the three nautical miles in no time, and announcing our presence with 2 well-placed shots from our forward cannons. We have less than 1,000 words to go. Okay. Think we're gonna make it under 3 hours. There were 6 enemy ships. There were 6 enemy pirate ships. Our 2 first shots, our 2 first each hit a different pirate ship with different results, but both of them devastating to the pirates. The cannon round slammed into the rigging of the first rearmost pirate vessel, causing the wooden junk's sails and mast to crash to the deck, hindering all the pirates on board. The mortar round came down from the howling down from the sky and smashed into its ship's deck like the hand of God, exploding in a huge cloud of wood and bodies that went all the way down and through its hull. But okay. I have to go to the restroom. Be right back. right, let's go, let's go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. The Shiro's gunners didn't stop there. Before the first 2 rounds had even hit, they already loaded and fired 2 more. By the time they were close enough to see the battle with their own eyes, 4 of the Waco Oni pirate ships were sunk or sinking. Hiroki piloted their ship like the expert sailor he was, taking them right in between the sinking pirate vessels and ramming into the soldiers stationed in the Shiro's rigging, taking shots with their bolt rifles at any pirates lucky enough to have survived so far. They made sure they didn't. The Shiro rammed into the side of the larger of the 2 remaining Waco Oni pirate junks. Its steel prow slicing into the weaker wood of the pirate ship as if it was made of papier mache. I think it's papier, see? Pirates hadn't ignored us or the Shiro's firing, booming artillery, but there wasn't much they could do about it. Even though they had seen our ship coming at ramming speed and had prepared for us to board them, the damage and the strength of our ramming tactic and the damage done not only surprised the pirates completely, it knocked all of them to their ship's deck, giving our soldiers even more time to line up and take their shots. What are we at? 153 at 12.5 basically, so 2,500 an hour, 2 hours? 2,500, 2 hours. Yeah, we're killing. We're cruising. Let's go. The results were not. We killed every single wacko pirate on board that vessel in less than 5 minutes. And that was only using the soldiers and sailors stationed in the ship's rigging. When I led the boarding team over the gunwale onto the enemy ship, we faced zero resistance. And by the time we made it onto the Hobbit ships, the Waco, every last Waco pirate had surrendered. Those that hadn't made it onto the last Waco pirate ship, which had detached itself from the Rusun Hobbit ship, it had been attacking and slowly sailed away. I thought about chasing it with... I thought about sending the Shiro to chase after it, but changed my mind. Evil grin overtaking my face. Captain Hiroki, I yelled, an idea coming to me. Oh snap, 400 words to go to get to 14K. Killing it, fucking killing it. How many people do you know that can write 3,000 words plus in under 3 hours? I don't know, man. That's pretty fucking dope. Not many. I mean, not none, but not many. You know, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Minutes later, I stood aboard the Shiro with rest of the command cadre and a small group of hobbits in the center of the main deck. The Hobbit group was taken care of by Princess Ji and the ship's officers for a moment, for a few minutes, while I organized the competition idea I'd just come up with. I live in Florida, and I have headphones on, and I just heard this like rumbling, and I'm like, what the fuck? I look behind me, it just started pouring. It was like bright and sunny like 5 minutes ago. Yeah, it's funny. How much did you say the winner is to get? Captain Hiroki asked for the 5th time. 5 bags of white rice? Why? Do you think that isn't enough? I asked. Not enough? What the hell is... What in all of Ryujin's tentacled... How can you be so smart and so stupid at the same time? You would just give a fortune to any man. How would you expect them to... King's fortune away? You have no idea of the concept of wealth. The old fisherman raged. I just shrugged. He was right, in a way. I didn't have a great grasp on the current value of what counted for money, but I also didn't care. The new technologies that Alan and I introduced pretty much destroyed the local and world any notion of economies of scale for this period in Earth's history. Well, that's a tough sentence. Not only that, but the science of economics as a whole would be worthless for about the next 700 years. Alan had informed me of that little tidbit of information some time ago, around when we were first planning our trip to Kamakura. The entire economy of the world ran on foodstuffs. Mostly. There was some goods like salt and gold, but gold or textiles, but they were luxuries. Everyone traded in food, and in Eastern Asia, that food was usually rice. And the whiter and shinier, the better. Okay, look how we doing. Let's go. Come up with an idea for building a rice dehusker, and Alan had made the blueprints changing them to reflect our current level of technological industrial base, that of a 1800s European country. And the result came out better than expected. We were able to harvest and then more rice in a smaller area than any other farming community in the world. Then we were able to run the rice through our with a 99% success rate. That meant less than 1% waste. The hand dehuskers used by the rest of the world had a 75% loss rate. Even we didn't grow 1,000 times more crop per area than the best we still were able to dehusk and save at a astronomical percentage in comparison. Basically, the fledgling nation of America, and Lord So in particular, was the richest man in the entire world. What did this mean? Hence why Captain Hiroki was so annoyed. It was hard to get a man to do something, risk his life, if he was rich. And I'd made his liege the richest man in the world. I'd basically made every one of us rich. Trying to get a rich man to risk his life was an exercise in futility. And I'd basically made every one of us, every person on the island of Tsushima, or Iki Island, rich. Extremely rich. Filthy rich. Thankfully, no one had realized it yet. Captain Hiroki, to an extent, but not the whole issue. I planned on addressing it, but at a later time, as since the society had been feudal when I arrived, it would take a few generations for the kids to grow out of the servile demeanor that had been bred into them for thousands of years. He is right, Lord So chimed in. That is too much rice for such a silly competition. Just give 2 bags. That would be fair. Eyes bulged out so much I thought they were going to pop out and go for a walk. he took a deep breath and said to his liege lord, with a strained effort, I could tell by the huge vein throbbing on the side of his forehead. My lord, maybe you also have a poor grasp on the value of currency. Why not let me be the one who decides the prize for the soldier or sailor or soldier that hits the fleeing wacko pirate? Would that be okay? Well, I believe I just did over 3,000 words in 2 hours and 20 minutes. Sure thing, old boy. Lord So replied, as if it was exactly what he'd wanted all along. The entire Now, let's get this party started. As you like to say, Rio. All right, finished. 3 hours. No, 2 hours, 22 minutes. And at least 20 minutes of that was me not working, right? So the entire ship's crew of the Shiro, except the bare minimum needed to steer and keep the engine room going, lined up on the main deck. All of them eager to take a chance, win the prize, the rice prize, the white rice prize when they sunk the fleeing Wacko. Okay. Okay, I'm done. This is chapter 3. Tomorrow we're back. It's 14,355 words. Let's go through these. Okay, Wilbraham, what's up, brother? Do you ever feel like you're doing a lot of narrow narrative work by exposition instead of showing? Most of your story is being told through internal exposition. I did this, these people did that, he feels this, they feel that, instead of things happening and organically unfolding through events happening. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, man, but this is the first draft. So I have to write down what's going to happen before I go back and flesh it out. That's the reason it's writing so fast. If I was able to sit and think about what's going to happen for a long period, I would take more time. But now I'm just telling what's happening in the story. So that's why there's all the internal exposition. When I go back around, I'll write things out more and do more events that happen organically. It's a side effect of writing really quickly with stream of consciousness, which I imagine you should know. If you write quickly with just what happens off the top of your head, yeah. That's what the second edit's for, man. But like, I could sit here and just think about what to write, and I could. It'd take me about an hour to write a few paragraphs because I would really, really envision what's happening. But now I get to see it written down. I know what's going to happen, and then when I come back and do my edits and rewrites, I get to picture. I can use my energy on picturing what the event would be like, and then rewrite that. I don't know if that makes any sense. I hope it does. What else? I hope it does. And if it's not, then maybe I could explain it a little better in a different way if it doesn't make sense. Anyway, thank you on Facebook for following, thank you for watching, and thank you on Twitch for watching, and thank you on Kick for watching. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh yeah, we're on X too. So yeah, it's a lot of streaming, man, woman, child, everybody. God, it's hard. I think streaming on all 5 things. I probably need more. Tolkien had 50 years and a world war to envision, and he started writing his book over like decades and decades. So, I mean, I have a world envision too, but it depends on how much time you want to spend, you know? Like, you could spend 10 years of your life living it and envision your world before you write it down. And there's a reason that Lord of the Rings is epic, right? He created his own language. He did all these things, but at the end of the day, though, too, like, most of the shit he wrote is stolen from historical record, and he changes it. Like, I love Lord of the Rings, it's great, but he didn't envision the world. He created a world based on history and historical records that he got when through his travels. Like, if you read his story, he was like a very, very well-read person, and he was a really good friend with Who was the shoot, the drug guy? What's his name? Tolkien, best friend, drug guy. Who died? C.S. Lewis, thank you. C.S. Lewis was a drug guy. He was a huge opium addict. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. It's so stupid. A lot of people are drug guys. But anyway, yeah, no. I don't know, man. I try not to get lost in the ocean because it's a big ocean out there, and like you're just telling one story of it, you know. I'm a fan of the world creation of someone like Terry Pratchett, you know, or Piers Anthony. They take a world and they write stories in that world, and they all play off each other. So I totally get what you mean. I totally get what you mean. But now what? I guess that's it. It is 2:29, and I think I'm done for the day. Again, thank you everybody for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. We're at 14,300 and something words. That is 85 and change to go. So, all right. Will, deuces. Everybody else, deuces. Have a great day. Bye Twitch, Kick. Bye Facebook. Adios. Bye YouTubes. Adios. Bye.